We're back. This is John.
It's Eric.
And there's no Paul.
No Paul.
Not tonight. It's all right. He's out of town again. Wow, this is getting rough. The end of the summer is like, we're not hanging out at all. Like,
yeah.
He was gone, then he was back. Now he's gone again. And then
next week I'm gone. I think he's gone next week too,
you're
yeah?
both gone. Yeah, I'm the only one here.
So everybody will get a lovely old episode that we recorded at some point.
Yeah, we'll have to, maybe we'll sit down and we'll look at what's on Spreaker and we'll decide together. It'll be fun. Paul doesn't get a vote.
No vote.
He wasn't here. So yeah, so we are here. This What If Geeks, by the way, I don't think I said that. I just kind of tossed into Paul's not here. Fuck it. So this is What If Geeks, and it's kind of like I guess an overall just a miscellaneous episode this time. We're just kind of talking about whatever.
It is. We have no focus today.
Yeah, we are unfocused.
But we have plenty to talk about.
Yeah, Paul is gone, so we figured we'll just kind of bullshit on a bunch of different topics. So I guess we'll jump right in here. What do you think, Florida Man?
Yeah, let's do a Florida Man.
What the hell was my Florida Man? I forgot.
Well, I'll start with mine while you're pulling yours up. All right, so the headline on this...
used out of context later.
Mm-hmm. The headline on this one is, Florida man throws feces at judge during trial and then gets acquitted. So this was, I think, Pinellas County. I don't remember. 30-year-old Dorlands Fildor sitting next to Miami-Dade Circuit Judge Lisa Walsh. He shit in his hand, I guess, and then threw his shit at the judge. He missed, and it hit the wall. Of course, they had to evacuate the room, and get it all cleaned up or whatever it was. But he ended up getting acquitted of whatever crime he was charged of. The jury acquitted him. I'm surprised he didn't get charged with contempt. Maybe he did. But the thing that really had me laughing at this one was the subtitle. It says, "If they throw shit, you must acquit."
Nice callback. Oh, God. Let me see. I think I lost it. Here, I'll just grab a random one. This looks kind of interesting, only because it looks like something I might actually try to do.
Uh-oh.
Florida man tries for new world record by drinking 33 beers in a single evening.
Ooh.
I might have actually gotten there.
I feel like that's just a man thing. It's not a Florida
man
thing.
I don't think it was a Florida man thing at all. I've had a few. Is it possible to drink 33 beers? Yeah, well, it is, but it's not necessarily recommended. Okay, yeah, 48-year-old Michael Monaghan gave it a shot. Looks like...
Does it say, like, the time frame?
Nope,
I mean, even for, like,
a
whole day, that's a shit ton.
Yeah, he was at he used foul language and tried to fight outside some sports bar. Where is he? I don't even know what town this is. St. Lucie County. Okay.
So he had like 33 drinks on his bar tab? Like, what fucking bartender let that happen? That's not... I mean, I'm not for bartenders cutting people off per se, but I mean, 33 beers? That's a lot of beers.
Well, he didn't quite make it because the cops found him passed out in the parking lot with, like, his fiance rubbing his back.
So you get 32 and a half.
Yeah, he almost got it. Yeah, so he put his fists up when the cops got there. He was like, let's fucking go. So, yeah. Oh, well. He tried. He didn't make it. I don't know. 33 is a lot. I mean, I'm an Irish sailor, and I love my beer. Fuck that. That's
yeah, no, I mean, even if you like started at like 10 in the morning and you drank into the evening, I mean, you're still talking like 3 beers an hour all day. That's crazy.
That's easy. Yeah.
That's nuts.
That's fucking hard to do. Oh, well, good job.
Give him his medal.
Yeah. I'm not sure what he won.
He won a Darwin Award is what he won.
Hopefully won a new liver.
He's going to need one.
All right, cool. So what are you into?
So let's see. I got 2 things this week. So there's a Netflix original series called Another Life that dropped, I think, on July 25th.
I think I saw it.
It's a futuristic site. Well, I watched the whole thing in like 3 nights. Premise of it is some alien artifact lands on Earth. There are no aliens, though. It's just this random thing, and they don't know what the hell it's for, and it's not really doing anything, and they start scanning it, and they realize it's sending signals somewhere. This is in the future, of course. And then they put together a crew to go on a ship and fly out to the source of the signal, basically. But it takes them months, maybe years. I'm not even sure. Probably years to get there. And they're in some sort of hypersleep thing. And then, some things happen along the way, and they don't get to the planet quite like they were planning to. And shit happens on the shit, and it goes sort of crazy. And they have to stop at some random moon to collect up oxygen, and then, bad things happen. It's sort of a mix between, I don't know if you ever seen Solaris, the movie Solaris.
Yeah.
So a little bit of that, people going crazy, mixed in with a little bit of aliens and creatures in people's bodies, mixed in with, I don't even know. There's so many different themes that they've got going on, but they merge them all together pretty well. It feels cohesive. I'd say the only downside to it is there's I think 8 main characters that are the crew of the ship, basically. They only spend time like character developing like 2 of them. And so when all the others, get hurt or die, like, you don't really give a shit. You're just like, whatever, okay, bye. And then to make it worse, before the first season's even quite over, they start introducing new characters to replace, the ones that they've gotten rid of or whatever. And it feels too fast, like they could have drawn it out more or something. But it's not bad overall. It's got, I'm going to forget her name. It doesn't matter. It does have one person in it that you probably recognize, though. Maybe 2. Oh, 2. Definitely 2. So that dropped on Netflix. Hold on, I'm gonna look them up while I'm chattering with myself. It's got really crappy reviews, by the way, on like IMDb. It's not great. So,
right.
Katie Sackhoff is the main character who was in Battlestar Galactica. I think is probably her most famous thing that she's done. And then there's another chick in there. Yep, I forgot her name too. I'm just having a mind fart today. Yeah, it doesn't matter either. But anyway, there's a couple people in there you might recognize. But cool. Overall, it's just so. For me, maybe other people will like it. I don't know.
Right. Well, I'm trying to think. What have we been watching? Not a whole lot of shows. I finally got to watch John Wick 3. That was awesome. So, still all in on John Wick. He's amazing.
Yeah, it really is. It really is a good little, I guess it's a trilogy now, sort of.
Yeah. And, spoiler alert for John Wick, they're going to leave it open for another one, of course.
Yes, indeed they do.
Yeah. So, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good run. And Keanu's like on a renaissance, renaissance, I guess, or resurrection, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, resurrection.
Yeah, resurrection of his career. So, I'm looking forward to seeing what else he does. But, yeah, I watched that. What else have I watched recently? Oh, well, I guess we might as well drop into upcoming movies because we've been watching all of the Fast and the Furious. I know I briefly mentioned those.
Yeah,
before.
Yeah. So Hobbs and Shaw drops Friday? Is it Friday?
Yeah, it's probably Thursday night.
Okay, whatever it is. It's soon. August 2nd, I think, was the official release.
So that'd be Thursday.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Friday.
I don't know. Who knows what day it is?
Oh, we don't know what day
it
is.
August 2nd is Friday, so that's the official release date. I saw it. It was airing in like the West Orange Theater on the 1st, though. Like one show time.
Yeah. They typically do that like at night and then...
Yeah.
So... Noah definitely wants to see that, so Heather's been watching like all of the Fast and the Furious with him, and I said I've defended these movies as far as like you can take your brain and shut it down and just watch them, but wow, I forgot how bad some of the shit is. Just the stuff they do. Like repeatedly, we've said we've made fun of them. Like I'm like, dude, The Rock punches a freaking torpedo. Yeah. No, that's in number 8. They just got done watching number 7. I completely forgot that in the climax of this damn movie, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, Dom Toretto drives his damn Charger through a parking lot with an attack helicopter flying around the outside, shooting missiles into the garage, right? Trying to kill him. And he's like driving around in there, and then like it makes some type of ramp that he winds up jumping this fucking Charger into the air at the helicopter, and the car tilts in just the perfect angle for him to somehow plant a duffel bag full of explosives onto the helicopter, and then the car crashes right into the ground, and everybody loses their shit. And there's The Rock. After The Rock has been carrying around a helicopter gun, like Predator type of that shit.
Yeah.
He's in the middle of the street with that fucking thing. Runs out of ammo on that thing, picks up his pistol, takes 2 shots at this damn duffel bag, and blows up the whole fucking helicopter. And then, of course, they wake up Dom because it's Fast and Furious. And yeah, he flies through the fucking air in a Charger and plants explosives on an attack helicopter. And all I've heard is people complaining that The Rock punched a torpedo. I'm like, that's nothing. Yeah. I just remembered how wild this shit is.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I haven't seen anywhere near that far into the series, but
yeah, I know you give up on them.
Yeah, even after the first few, it's like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but again, I mean, I get a kick out of them just because it's just random. Like, I get they got to up it every time, but holy shit! At least now with Hobbs and Shaw, they're like, okay. They're putting science behind it and saying they're souping up the dude with like nanotechnology. Mm-hmm. So it gives you a reason.
Well, yeah, I think they were always sort of creeping into that pseudo superhero. I don't know, storyline, right? You have to if you want to keep upping it when you're 8 movies in or 9 movies in. How many is it? Is this fucking 9? Hobbs
and Shaw is a spinoff, so it's not even one of them.
Whatever.
It is the 9th one.
Yeah.
So they'll have number 9 coming out at some point.
Yeah, so to keep upping yourself, I mean, you almost have to do something. So
a little bit.
I got another one too that I started this week, another year into since I finished the first series. The Boys dropped.
Yeah, I haven't started it yet. You have.
Oh, can I give you some really not strong little weak spoilers?
Yeah, just because you're dying to talk about it. Yeah, good.
So I'll just
spoiler alert for The Boys if you haven't watched it
episode 1 only, and these will be very gentle spoilers, I promise. But so
like a pinky in the ass.
Yeah, pretty much. It's actually a pretty good description, although that's what the show is. But so it's
this entire show is just a pinky in the ass.
So, The Boys it was billed as a dark comedy, but it's incredibly dark. I think black comedy is what it was billed as, but black isn't dark enough because they go. Some of it's not even done humorously. It's just black. It's just dark. It's just fucked up. So these are my 3 spoilers for you. Okay, and again, they're mini spoilers, but
it's fine. I'm going to watch it. So
if the Flash were running down a road and he accidentally bumped into somebody, what the fuck would happen to that person? Okay? That's one thing they explore. And they don't, not just the injuries and whatever, but like who's responsible for it? What happens to the family members that got to deal? Like they go into the whole thing, right? Wow. And it's really fucked up. And the people that are most affected by this are like really pissed at the superhero and they're like, what the fuck? And
sure.
And I guess I should start from the beginning. A corporation basically runs all these superheroes. They're like capitalizing on it. They're like sort of selling their persona. They'll like contract them out to cities for hundreds of millions of dollars to help clean up crime.
Right. Okay.
There's all this shit going on, and it's all led by this mega corporation. So when somebody gets hurt by a superhero on accident, collateral damage, whatever, which in any real comic would have happened a million times. But it's not something they really explore, and they do it here in a sort of dark and weird way. Like, what if somebody really got fucked up, and then, it wasn't on purpose. The superhero didn't do it on purpose. It was just like accidental. But fuck, what are we supposed to do? And so they go this whole thing, and the corporation trying to keep it quiet and get people to sign like non-disclosure agreements about what happened. Like they go far down it, right? So that's my one. It's a small spoiler, okay? I know you're gonna know which character I'm talking about, but. Until you see it, I'm going to leave the surprise for you. You have to see the scene where he actually hits somebody.
Okay.
Because it's fucked up. But the next thing is within, I think, about the first 20 to 25 minutes of the movie, one of the superheroes, I should stop calling them superheroes. They call them soups in the movie. They're really, they're really anti-heroes, right?
Because
they have superpowers, but they're all like spoiled by their fame and they do lots of fucked up shit and the company tries to keep it all under wraps and You know, it's like a whole thing. But so maybe 20, 25 minutes in, one of the superheroes...
It's like flying Kardashians?
Yeah, something like that. One of the superheroes, like, sexually harasses somebody, and then that's bad enough.
Right.
But then when the person's trying to leave, they go further, and they basically, like, say all this fucked up stuff about how it's going to ruin their life and shit, and basically coaxes them into doing some sexual acts that they don't want to do. And that's why I said, like, it's not just black comedy, because there's nothing comic about this piece of it. They're trying to portray, like, how fucked up some of these superheroes are and the kind of shit they do. Right. But it's like...
Well, yeah, because it sets up the boys.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really nothing that funny about it. It's not comedy. That piece of it is not comedy, you know, and they just fucking do it, and they go through with it, and you see the aftermath, and it's kind of fucked up. But again, I won't say which superhero or what's going on, but that's my mini spoiler there. And then the last one I'll give you, just to give you, there's definitely some Seth Rogen influence going on here. So there's this one point, this is going to be my only true spoiler, and I apologize for ruining this for you ahead of time, but there's this one point where one of the superheroes comes in to, you know, their little hideout or whatever, and the main superhero, the only one that's actually good as far as you can tell, the only one that's, like, not tainted by his power and isn't, like, doing fucked up shit, which is Homelander, and he's the leader of the group. And Butch, one of the boys, says Butch says in the show during one of the things, like, yeah, well, Homelander's the exception. He's the one of the group that's not, like, totally fucked up. But anyway, so Homelander's standing in a hallway in the hideout, and he's looking at a big ass portrait of himself, right? And the other superhero walks in, and she's kind of like, what the fuck is he doing? Why is he staring at himself? You know? And she starts talking to him and whatever. They have a little conversation. She leaves, and then they cut back to him staring at his portrait again, but he's not actually looking at his portrait. So what they do is they make the wall sort of disappear. He's using his X-ray vision to stare at a woman who is pumping breast milk on the other side of the wall in her office or whatever, and he's just fucking watching her pump her breast milk. It is really fucking weird, dude. So anyway, those are my few spoilers for the show. There's a lot more than that just in the first episode.
All right, cool.
It's fucked up. You should definitely watch it.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it.
If you can handle it.
Oh, I'm sure I can handle it.
Not you. Yeah. For the general crowd. I mean,
if you guys can handle it,
you can handle some really fucked up, weird, uncomfortable shit. You should watch it.
I know I can. So now you mentioned Seth Rogen. Speaking to him, not that I know exactly how much I can say, but my wife and I, because we have the Cinepass, we it's a the membership that you sign up for. You get discounted tickets and discounted concession stands for Cinemark, right? Mm-hmm. We've been members there for a while now. This is the second time. About a year ago, she got sent a couple of tickets for like a premiere for, I think it was like one of the Harry Potter movies, and she took our son. Well, we just got tickets to go see, yesterday we went to go see Good Boys. And that I can't say too much about it because it doesn't come out until August 16th. Now, there's no, like, they didn't have us sign anything, but at the same time, it's not coming out until August 16th, and they were like, they went on this whole, like, diatribe about shut your phones off if you need your phones on because you have children at home. We suggest you leave the theater now because you need to shut your damn phones off, basically. They wanted this whole thing, right? So, obviously, they're trying to keep spoilers. So, the only thing I will say about it is you need to go see this damn movie.
So, it wasn't... I was a little worried that it would go too far and be Sausage Party-like ridiculous, but it wasn't that bad?
No, but it's like... Basically, it's super bad to, like, the nth degree. It's way out there. Like, it's... The trailer... One of my biggest fears with comedies is, like, they show all the jokes in the trailer. They don't do that at all here.
No?
There's so much more in this movie. So it's really, really good. It's really, really funny. Just go watch it. If you guys don't know what it is, Good Boys, I guess a tale of 3 kids growing up. I don't know. That's about all I can tell you because you got to watch the trailer. And some of you might not want to even watch the trailer.
Yeah.
It's Seth Rogen at his finest.
I think we talked about this in a previous episode. Even the PG-13 trailer is like
pushing it.
Yeah. And then you guys said you watched the Red Banded trailer, and I haven't seen it, but
oh my god,
I can only imagine.
But it's very good. I mean, it's right in like my wheelhouse of humor. So
yeah,
it was perfect. So I think it's going to do good in the movies when it comes out. So good luck to them. That's all I'll say. That way, keep the censors and the studios off my ass. Because hopefully we'll get more of these so that we can do more like little teaser reviews. That'd be cool. So that was fun.
Yeah. Before we get into the other geek stuff, I did want to cover one thing because we had talked for a couple episodes, I think, about people randomly licking ice cream in the store and sticking it back in and other shit, right?
Yeah.
Well, so there was a story that ran today. I think it was in Pennsylvania. I don't remember what city, but who gives a shit anyway?
It's Pennsylvania. It's okay. I lived there for a little while. There's not much there.
This fucking woman...
Well, except for one of my kids. Sorry. One of my kids lives there, so it's amazing.
Yeah, except for this place that we're going to talk about, and hopefully it's nowhere near him. But... So this woman walks into Walmart. I don't know what the fuck she's mad about. I have no context. They haven't actually found her. They're still trying to find her because they have video footage of her going through this act, but they don't know who she is. So anyway, she apparently goes into the produce at some point during her shopping visit, fucking gets up on the potatoes and squats and pisses all over the fucking potatoes. And then leaves the store. I really don't know why or what it was about. I don't know if it was an internet challenge or it really doesn't matter because it's just fucking weird.
You know, this just adds to my ammo on, you know, I constantly just complain that let's help the earth kill some of these people. I mean, Mother Nature's already trying to do us in. Like, it's getting worse and worse. I think we need to start, like, executing some of these stupid people.
Yeah.
Like, on ourselves. We can make a reality TV show out of it. Make some money, or a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Make a pay-per-view out of it.
Yeah.
Just start killing some of these. Oh, my God.
It'll be like what's that movie where The Purge? It'll be like a Purge. But...
Yeah. Yeah, but give everybody GoPros.
Just let people do what they're going to do. Don't stop them. Don't stop them.
Well, then,
for one night.
Yeah, but then 90% of the people will be pissing on potatoes instead of killing the ones that are pissing on the potatoes.
My favorite part about this story was that Walmart had put out a formal statement or whatever, and it was basically just, this is completely inappropriate and unacceptable. No shit. Yep. You didn't need to say that.
Well, it's Walmart. They kind of need to, Walmart needs to make that statement.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Somebody will see that challenge on Facebook in a week, and they'll be like, "Oh, what a fucking good idea! I want to go piss on some potatoes."
Well, I just came up with the name for the episode. #, Peeple of Walmart. Peeple.
There you go.
Oh my God. Thanks.
I was thinking people peeing on produce, but you never know.
People of Walmart.
I just like all the peas.
Yeah. Oh my God.
People peeing on produce in Pennsylvania.
Is stupid. Holy shit. The Pennsylvania produce pissing people. Jesus. There's something wrong with this entire society. All right. You know, I'm so fucking tired of people. Oh, shit. All right, what else we got?
What else do we have? I was going to go over stuff that's popped out. I think we already covered...
Not this woman's piss, right?
No, not this woman's piss. So we already covered Another Life. I talked about The Boys. We talked about Hobbs and Shaw, so we can cross those off the list. Quentin Tarantino. So his 9th, maybe. I'm not sure how we're counting this. I was going back through today to look at... Because Tarantino had always said he was going to do 10 movies, right?
Yeah. And
that was going to be the end of it. But I was going back and counting today. I swear there's already 10 movies. But then I was thinking, well, maybe Kill Bill Volume 2, maybe that only counts as one movie because it's part of the same set. And then I had read some other thing about how Pulp Fiction and a couple other movies were somehow linked together, and they might technically be part of a trilogy that would get tied together in a future movie or something. I don't know, some weird shit.
Well, I know that he distinctly said he's only making 10.
Yeah.
And then every other movie pundit is saying that
this is 9.
This is 9.
This counts as 9.
Yeah. So I mean, we can just go with that until Tarantino says, no, that trilogy is all one movie.
Oh wait,
like when he gets bored after he makes his 10th one, and
yeah.
he's got nothing to do at home with his like $1 billion mansion. He's like, I'm gonna go make another movie. Oh, I said I was gonna make 10. Kill Bill 1 and 2 is one movie.
Yeah, I think that might be how it works out, something like that. But I want to pause real quick because I forgot the website launch. We forgot to talk about the website launch, and we might as well before we go through this because I already posted stuff on it. So,
yeah. So what are we into here? Here's my biggest. What are we into? I was actually waiting, but then we kind of jumped into. I was gonna do the last. What are you into? But we jumped right into other things because we kind of got to see when Paul's not here. We just kind of get clusterfucked a little bit. All right, so my final what are you into is last weekend while I was running around doing I had a pool party at my house Friday and then I was doing something Saturday and I was running around Sunday. Get a random text from Eric. Goes, so I built this a website. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Because we've been talking about it, but we hadn't done anything with it yet. So he says, I built this a website. I was like, sweet, because I need to build my wife one for her crafting business, and I need you to show me what you did. And he was like, oh, shit, I forgot I was going to help you with that. So I'm definitely coming over today. So he came over, and he helped me with my wife's, and then he showed me what he did with ours. And holy shit, this thing, we're like straight legit. We've got spots for forums and movie reviews and links directly to our podcast, and every time I upload shit through Spreaker, it goes right to our website, too. So it's really cool. It's got links all to our Facebook and our Instagram. But go ahead. I'll let you kind of sell it off because you
I guess
built the fucking thing.
For starters, it's whatifgeeks.com. That's real easy.
Yep.
I can't believe it was available, to be honest with you. But
I know. I was kind of shocked.
I'm a little bit shocked myself. But so we got it, whatifgeeks.com. So go there, check it out. On the front page, there's the feed of all the basically the same stuff you've probably seen on our Facebook or Twitter. We do trailer releases. What's probably new there is there's one movie review up right now that I wrote about the Lion
Eric
King.
wrote the first. He popped his cherry and he wrote his first movie review.
Yeah, my first movie.
So technically, our first movie review online outside of the ones we do here.
Yep.
So yeah, and it was really cool, dude. I was like, holy shit, you were like dead on. And it was like everything that we discussed.
Yeah. Well, we had discussed a lot of that before. I think that's what made it easy to write. But yeah, so there's a movie review on there. There's a couple newsy things on there, which is something I was about to get into, and that's what reminded me about the website. There's a forum where we sort of, if you want to throw in ideas to us about what we should talk about on the podcast or what you'd like to see on the website, you can do that on there. Yeah. I think I'll probably start a Florida Man thread, and we can dump all of our favorite ones in there, and we can let people submit them, and we can read them on the air. I think that'll work well.
Yeah, and then because what I'm going to use some of the forum for is like some of the ideas that I have that are like discussion points, like Star Wars theories and this and that. We'll start like different threads on there and just like have discussion points. Yeah, cool.
I threw a couple things on there just as a starting point, but yeah, feel free to add whatever you want. And so for listeners, you can go log in. So you can go to the website and do whatever you want without logging in. But if you want to, you can log in with your Google or your Facebook or just your regular email. And then you'll be able to leave comments on any of our articles, any of the threads, the trailer stuff we put up, any of the forum. You can do all that. So you don't have to sign up for a separate account on the website. You can just use one you've already got. So it's real easy. So that's it for now. There's definitely going to be a lot of stuff added on there. I'm trying hard to publish content, and I know John and Paul are going to help me out. So
yeah, yeah, Mr. I'm going to build a whole fucking website and then just drop it in your lap. Oh, okay, thanks.
All right, so now that we got through that, go check out whatifgeeks.com. You can listen to the podcast straight on that website if you want. You don't have to use Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts and whatever else you're using, but there's no mechanism for the website to notify you that a podcast is dropped. So you might want to keep to one of your other things anyway. But,
yeah, I would keep to Apple or Spreaker or whatever. But if you're getting on there, drop a line to us. Let us know you're there so we kind of know who the hell we're talking to. Yeah, we know a handful of people that we're talking to, but
and we can see all the site traffic stuff, and I can see that there've been a lot of people on there, but I have no idea who's who. It's anonymous, right, to us, except for the couple people that have actually logged in with their email or Google's and left a message. Then we know you're there, but aside from
Outside
that,
of
we have no
nothing.
idea.
Yeah. So hit us up. Let us know.
All I can see is that
we like to talk.
30 people read my Lion King review. I don't even know who these 30 people are.
It was me and your mom 20 times. All right, that'll be taken out of context later. Sorry. I'm so sorry, Mom. That was wrong.
I wasn't even going there. I guess in other news, before we hop back to this, we also have a way now that we can do phone calls on air. So we can take guest speakers and we can call out to people. So we experimented with that over the weekend. It works pretty well as long as my phone isn't involved.
Yeah, it worked a lot better on mine. So what we'll probably do, since we don't record live yet, that's coming soon. I want to do that like somewhere around the holidays. That's my timetable for that. I want to see if we can't start recording live, like through Mixler or something, by the holidays. We'll sit down and look at that. But until we can do that, what I'll do is just kind of like contact some people in advance, either through the website or whatever, whoever's talking to us, and be like, all right, we're recording Tuesday about this topic, whatever. If you want to talk, and then I'll either give out my number to some people, or I'll call, ask for your number and I'll call, one of the two. But we'll kind of do it that way because we record on Tuesdays and then we drop it on Thursdays. So by the time you get the message, it'll be sometime around the weekend that you'll be messaging us on the site to say, hey, I want to talk to you guys. So, and that's fine. You can try it. We'll work it out. We'll work with you. We'll figure it out because this whole thing is a clusterfuck work in progress anyway. So, but it's cool. It's getting there. I mean, we could take calls and we can make calls like a damn radio station. We got a website. We're getting straight legit now. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
So thanks, dude.
I'm excited.
I appreciate you building all that.
Oh, yeah, sure. It was actually fun. I used to do that, I sort of did it as a job, about almost 20 years ago. Wow. And then I did it for fun for several years after. And then I got really sick of it, and I didn't want people to bother me about helping them with websites. But it's funny now, the tools that are available make it so easy that, you don't really have to know code anymore. And back then you had to know all the HTML coding and how to write Java. You don't really have to know any of that anymore.
Right.
You just sort of, if you can do it all visually, kind of, and you don't have to know what's going on in the background. So it makes it a little bit more fun. So anyway, I went way off tangent there for a good reason this time.
Side note on that one.
Oh, side note.
Yeah, we're going to tangent to your tangent. Remember when we started building Heather's, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember the disparity in price?
Yeah.
Yeah, she got an email yesterday.
Yeah.
Hey, check this out. Oh, okay. So, after we get off of here tonight, I'm going to jump on there and take advantage of it.
All right. Yeah. I figured that would happen. I figured if you went through the thing to start buying it and you didn't actually go through the purchase, within a couple days, they'd probably be like, oh, you want a discount? You want to do this?
Yeah. It's kind of like Sirius XM where they keep coming after you with lower and lower prices.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil, since they're our website hosts now, I really don't want to spoil what they're doing, but if you have if you're going to start a website and you have a question, just give one of us a note or something. Yeah. We'll tell you what's going on.
Drop a line to us. We'll talk to you.
So anyway, all right. So getting off the tangent from the tangent from the tangent from the tangent. Quentin Tarantino's new movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I guess we're going to call it the 9th. So it opened on Friday. This actually set a record for Tarantino for opening weekend. He made $41.1 million on the opening weekend. So his highest prior to that was Inglourious Bastards, which was actually 10 years ago.
And it's on Netflix now.
Yeah. Yes. I was going to say that. So he did $38 million on Inglourious Bastards 10 years ago, which I think if you were to take inflation into account, Inglourious Bastards was probably actually higher, given that it was 10 years ago. And it was only a few $1 million less. But in any case, so that came out 41.1 million over 38 from his last one. So new record. So that movie has got Leo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. It's sort of a weird comedy drama thing about an aging actor and his longtime stuntman or stunt double, I guess, and then they're trying to figure out late 60s Hollywood and how to get back into the movie game, and they're kind of failing at it. But it's also it also plays on some real live shit that happened in the late 60s, including the murder of Samantha Tate. So, you know, she was a fairly new actress, I guess, who her and a few of her friends got murdered by members of the Manson family. Yeah. So this is part of the plot in the movie. So the movie takes place over...
But it's like in the background, right?
Yeah. Well, the movie takes place over a few days, not consecutive days. There's gaps in between to allow the time change to happen that needs to or whatever. But I think the last one is right up to the Manson murders, right? Like the day before or whatever. And so this is how the story sort of plays out. So it's an integral part of it because Margot Robbie, who plays his neighbor, you know, the girl from Suicide Squad that plays
Margot Robbie.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to remember the character's name.
Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn, thanks.
Yeah.
So,
oh, yeah, no, I'm all in it. Never mind.
Yeah, I know.
We know.
Yeah, well, so...
That's like beating a dead horse.
So anyway, she plays Samantha Tate. She moves in next door to Leo's character, who's a fictional character. But, I mean, he's based loosely on Burt Reynolds. And then his stuntman, who played by Brad Pitt, is based loosely on Hal Needham. Maybe not even based on them. It's just based a little bit on some like real life stories around him or whatever. So anyway, I wrote a little blog post about that on our website if anybody wants to check it out. And there's a wonderful picture of Margot Robbie that I wanted to show you there if you hadn't read the article yet.
No, I hadn't clicked on it yet, but no.
Now you can click on it a few times.
That's what she said.
So anyway, I wanted to note because I thought this was really interesting. So Tarantino has done all of his production has been done by Harvey Weinstein, right? And that production company, which is now he wants nothing to do with, of course. So when he was coming out with this movie, which he had started years ago before this happened, but he was coming out with this movie, somebody had to pick it up, right? Somebody had to pick up the production. So Sony and Warner Brothers and Paramount were all after it, right? And Sony won the bid. But I read today that he had some like crazy demands, and they apparently, you know, succumbed to all of them, which was he wanted $95 million to make this movie, which there's no crazy special effects or anything like that. Right, so yeah. I mean, there's a few very famous actors, but this is a huge budget for a movie like this. So $95 million budget. He wanted a final approval, the final cut approval on the movie, so he gets to decide what scenes are in and out before it goes to production.
Oh, shit.
A whole bunch of creative controls, and then the kicker for me, 25% of the first dollar gross on the movie, which means that if the movie only makes $90 million, which would have been a loss basically since he had a $95 million budget, he still gets 25% of that. No matter what, he gets 25% of any gross, whether it makes $1 or $1 billion. I thought it was crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. And sometimes actors get those deals in movies when they do like big series and they're on a whole bunch, right? They might get a few percentage points, 5 percentage points, who knows? But that's crazy. 25% is like off the wall. And then apparently he gets the rights to the movie back from Sony in like 10 years so that he could take it to another production company and do a sequel or what. Not that you do a sequel to this, but maybe. Who knows?
Right.
But anyway, yeah, so it was crazy demands, and he got them all. Or I don't know if he got them all, but he got a bunch of stuff that he really wanted that he never would have got probably with the previous production company. But hey, why not? It's Tarantino, right?
Yeah, exactly. All right, so now speaking of the site and what we're posting on there, I scrolled through real fast and I noticed something missing that just dropped recently. Mm-hmm. So I was gonna see if you had actually seen it yet.
What's that?
They dropped the Zombieland 2 trailer. Or so Zombieland Double Tap.
It's on there.
It's on there because I didn't see it.
Really? Let's see. We're gonna check this out. So there's a search feature on the top right.
I'm looking.
I'm going to type Zombieland in there and see what happens.
Oh, wait. There it is.
I found it. Zombieland Double Tap official trailer.
Okay. Yeah. So there you go. Anyway.
Yeah. So it is.
I missed it.
It is.
All right. It's on there. Yeah. So, yeah, there's a really cool search feature on this thing where if you just type in, like, whatever, like MCU or whatever, it'll bring you, like, anything, either podcast or post or whatever that we've done on this site that kind of has to do with your search criteria. Yep. So you can kind of search for anything, and it'll help you find it. So it's really cool.
Yep. it works pretty well. I've been trying to tag all the actor names and all that stuff. So if you're looking for a person, you can search that and you'll get all the trailers and movie reviews and anything else that might be related to them. But it'll take some time to get it all right, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
it works. It works well now. Anyway,
I forgot. I thought I saw it on there, but I didn't scroll down far enough.
So here's my Zombieland double tap. I don't know when I did this one. This was 4 days ago.
4 days. Yeah, that's why. Because I didn't scroll down far enough.
It's probably far back in the thing.
It was. I'm sitting on my phone.
Search, man. Search.
Yeah. But now, so you've watched it though.
Yeah.
Okay, because we were just talking about this at work.
Oh yeah. So the very end of it, basically, right? That's the
dude.
Yeah. So, I think that.
You need to go. All right, go there. You go. Go to our site, watch this damn trailer, and then comment on it. Let us know what you think. Because like, the end of this trailer is just kind of like this thing goes so meta that it's like ridiculous.
Yeah. That's probably the best way to describe
without
it.
Spoiling it. Yeah, it was like, am I hallucinating? That was so funny, and something they're keeping out of the trailer, but it's been all over the news. Was apparently. Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd both have cameos in this movie.
Yes, they do. They both play themselves again. Yep.
So, which is funny because Bill Murray died in the first one.
Well, so, maybe. I was trying to. I have to rewatch it.
I have to rewatch it because they leave him there, and he leans over like he's dead, but he might not be dead. Maybe Dan Aykroyd finds him and saves him. But I mean, he's got a shotgun hole in his chest, so who knows? Anyway, I kind of picture like Dan Aykroyd walking around with him on a leash. Like Michonne in Walking Dead.
Maybe.
I think that'd be fucking amazing. But anyway, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that movie. They took way too long making that sequel. So,
they really did, yeah.
But, hey, it's still like the buzz around it is amazing. So, obviously, it hasn't lost too much. So, all right, what else we got here? So, we got our website. Everybody go check that shit out. And he's updating. So just jumping back to Tarantino real quick. Inglourious Bastards dropped on Netflix. If anybody hasn't seen it or wants to watch it again, it dropped on Netflix on the 22nd, so you can watch it on repeat if you like. It'll be good fun. Yes, sir.
It's a great movie if you haven't seen it, by the way. It's a little bit over the edge and bizarre, but I mean, what Tarantino movie isn't?
Well, right. Exactly.
But it does great storytelling, and the characters are over the top. Particularly the one Nazi interrogator, if you will. I mean, that character is really interesting.
Yep.
So what else were we going to talk about? I guess we should do Ryan Reynolds since we're
let's jump on Ryan Reynolds and then. Well, there you go.
We'll jump on Ryan Reynolds. Okay, so this was, I guess, I don't know. This is a teaser, spoiler? I'm not sure what to say about it.
No, it's the way he tweeted it, because everybody's been talking about, since Disney bought out Fox, when are they going to bring in the X-Men and Fantastic Four and Deadpool and all this shit, right? So Marvel at San Diego Comic-Con, we talked about this last episode. We talked about everything they dropped, and then Kevin Feige specifically said at the end of that thing, we haven't talked about Fantastic Four or Mutants or whatever. So still like kind of teasing that they're coming, but not when. But he definitely has said it's going to be a little while. So Phase 4 has already been kind of established. So then Ryan Reynolds tweets, go ahead.
I don't.
Well, it's a photo of.
Yeah, it's like. Have you ever seen one of those conspiracy theory movies? There was. It doesn't matter.
It's just. Well, this is the same one he did when they first dropped Deadpool. When they first released Deadpool.
So it's just it's a billboard or a
corkboard.
Corkboard, thanks. There's a corkboard with a bunch of pictures on it and all these little notes, and everything's connected by yarn and string or whatever, right? So it's like some kind of conspiracy's going on. And then it's like who leaked this, year 5, kind of whatever. But the comment,
that was the key.
Yeah.
He added year 5 because it wasn't on there before.
So the comment says investigation heading into year 5, or as I call it, phase 5. The point is, I love conspiracy yarn. So
and that was from Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, that was from Ryan Reynolds. So I think the assumption here is that he knows and is letting out, I think, that Deadpool 3 will then be part of Phase 5 for Disney, which Phase 4 ends. The last announcement for Phase 4 is November 21st. So Phase 5 presumably starts something right after that. But
yeah, so shortly after
2021 though. Yeah. Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, no, that November. November 21st, 2021. A little ways from now, but
not
I think
this one, not the next one, the one after that.
Yeah, so. There was another clue in that somebody had posted. I think it might have been your daughter about Avengers 5, fifth movie for Avengers or whatever.
She posted something. I can't remember what the hell it was now, but
it was the same thought. It was playing off something that that Kevin had said in the panel 11 at San Diego Comic-Con, that there was going to be another Avengers movie, just not yet.
Right, and that'll be and of course it's going to be completely different. But who knows?
Well, so we know Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is most likely going to be in that Phase 5.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not an Avengers movie. That may be a mistaken way to say it. Maybe a halfway to the new Avengers movie.
Could be.
Something like that.
Well, what if they do, because you got WandaVision on Disney Plus this winter, right?
Mm-hmm.
That leads directly into the Doctor Strange movie, right? The Multiverse of Madness, right?
Multiverse of Madness, yep.
And that's supposed to be a straight horror movie. So I think they're starting to tweak her powers a bit. I think you're going to see that in her show. And I think that's probably going to lead into, I don't want to say a House of M type of thing, but I think she's going to break something in reality that allows the different realities, a.k.a. Fox, whatever, to kind of bleed into each other.
Yeah, it's interesting because they're giving her a lot more attention than Marvel Comics ever did, I think.
No, she was pretty big in the comics. She did that whole House of M thing.
Sure, but there's been like a huge focus in the movies. She's plays a part in multiple different movies. She has her own movie line. She's getting her own Disney Plus. Well, but Vision and her are getting their own Disney Plus.
Disney also
it's a lot. That's true. That's true. But I feel like it's a lot, and I feel like they're doing that to build her up for something.
Yeah. So if she's the reason why the mutants and you know what I mean? If she's the reason why they show up, if they play it off the right way. Because remember in the House of M storylines when she had a nervous breakdown and she warped reality. Because her powers are a little bit different than what they are in the movies. She warps reality and basically makes it so that her father, Magneto, sometimes father, sometimes not, depending on what year you're reading.
Yeah.
Her father is like an emperor over the entire world, and people have whatever they want and blah, 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 whatever. And a handful of them kind of figure out what's going on that is not real. It's not the real world. So they kind of go after her to try to stop her. And at the end of that is when she does the No More Mutants. And after that is like the decimation of all the mutants, where it drops down to, there were thousands and thousands of these mutants all over the world, and it drops it down to 198. But the rest of the world goes on as it was before she started warping reality. So there's she's got a lot of power in the comics. I think they're going to start playing with that in the movies.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Well, or they may play with it in Disney Plus.
Well, I think that's where they're going to start, and I think maybe that's why she winds up with Doctor Strange. Maybe he's going to try to help her learn her powers, and shit goes horribly wrong. Who knows? I don't know.
Well, if there's anywhere to do it, the Doctor Strange movie is probably it, because the whole focus of that is alternate reality stuff, right? That's the idea. Yeah. And then they've already sort of introduced the multiverse concept in a couple different ways now. Not necessarily strict MCU in all of them, but they've at least introduced the idea that these things can play out differently in different.
They've been weakening the central fan base with a few jabs here and there, and now they're about to come in with an uppercut.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think a big part of it, in the comic book series, right, a big part of it is to tell a different story, not necessarily to ruin the main line, just to tell a different story or throw in a different idea, or what if. That's the whole point, right? So I think introducing that to the movies now is great. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah,
I don't know how non-geeky people will deal with it, but...
Well, they've already accepted magic with Doctor Strange, space with Guardians. They accepted a fucking raccoon and a talking tree. I think at this point you can kind of throw anything at them. And,
This is true.
You know.
But I mean, if they were to follow along the real Marvel line of doing things, I mean, you could have completely different characters that don't even act like the ones you know, and don't follow in stories that make any sense. And
well, what the MCU seems to do and do really well, even better than the show I'm about to mention, is they kind of do the same thing that the original Walking Dead series did, where you have like the comic as your main timeline that you look at, and then it kind of weaves in and out of it, kind of telling its own story and kind of touches on certain things, so you're like, oh, I remember that from the comic. They do the same thing with the MCU. Yeah. So, yeah. I will look forward to, speaking of The Walking Dead, we're going to have to look after this podcast. Maybe we'll mention it later.
What's that?
I think I read, and I haven't found it yet. I've been looking for it. I read that the third series that I've been talking about, they dropped the trailer.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
there was definitely
about.
There was an announcement at SDCC, but there was no trailer. There was just a teaser.
They dropped a teaser for the Rick Grimes movies that they already said they were going to do. Then they had
in that same panel, they said there was going to be a third spinoff.
Yes, and then supposedly, but I haven't found it yet. They've dropped a trailer, so I'm looking for it. So if I find it,
if we find it, we'll put it on the website.
Yeah, we'll jump
and on Facebook and on Twitter,
everywhere.
All that shit. Is that what you normally say? Yeah. So I think we had one more thing we want to talk about. And this was yours. You sent this to me earlier. I hadn't actually seen it, although now I've looked up all kinds of stuff about it in a few hours before I showed up. So that was Universal Studios. So for those of you that don't know and don't live in this general area, Universal Studios has been working on what appears to be a third theme park out by the Orange County Convention Center.
Yeah, and what happened was Heather and I were literally just joking around about how Disney has been, and I know I jumped to Disney, but they've been, what do you call it? They've been building up their hotels, right? They've been like adding floors to these hotels. Mm-hmm. And we're like, even at Disney, your parks can't friggin' maintain the people that are coming in now, and you're going to have more, you know? Yeah. So, like, we were wondering about them. And then Universal dropped, all they said was, we're going to have a huge, huge announcement at a press conference at Orange County Convention Center on Thursday. So in 2 days, we'll find out what this thing is. But the big rumor is that they're going to announce a new park.
A new park, yeah.
And then Heather said, if they do announce this park, because we'll jump into our speculation about the park. But Heather said, she's like, I'd bet my ass, and she doesn't bet that lightly. She's like, I bet my ass if they make this announcement come August, D23, Disney's going to say, yeah, we're making a new park too. So I think Florida's getting 2 new fucking parks. One for Universal and one for Disney.
So they did, okay, so I guess, starting from the beginning, so to speak. So this park that Universal has, or this area of land that Universal has been under development for a while. I think a few years probably. And they've, from the start, not from building or anything, but they've put in permits to do road building and stuff. Some things are public. Some things have been leaked out of council meetings and blah, blah, but nobody knows what it actually is. And so I think the way the rumor mill goes with the plans that have been leaked and stuff, it looks like there's going to be sort of a...
It's my computer because I'm getting messages. Oh, okay. So yeah, I didn't shut the...
There's going to be a central shopping area, something pseudo like Disney Springs or something, right?
Right.
And then from that, there'll be multiple different themed areas of this new park. And we don't know what all the themed areas might be, but that's just what it looks like in the plans. So there might be gate entrances into each park. And I was reading, I'm going to go on a tangent and fuck this up, but we were doing good with 45 minutes or so. But I was reading that, they rent, both Disney and Universal rent out the parks at night for, tens of thousands of dollars for private events and stuff, right?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes, yeah. But I was reading this thing about, well, if you were going to design a park to sort of capitalize on that, and you had each, you know, if you have a central hub and then each of those has a single entrance to another themed area, you could rent off each of those themed areas separately, and you'd be able to crowd control and everything, right?
Right.
And so you could have 5 or 6 different, you know, $10,000 a night events going on at the same time if you wanted to in this one park, because it's controlled. Unlike Disney, well, particularly Universal. Both the Universal parks are set up like a racetrack, right? Big circle, and you can't control crowds. I mean, you want everybody to walk around in the circle, that's fine, but you can't control crowds when you're trying to do private parties and stuff. You just rent the fucking park out.
Right, yeah.
So there's nothing you can really do about it. So that would be interesting if that were true. This is pure speculation, by the way. Don't think we know anything, or I know anything.
Yeah, so
Fuck,
to
I don't
totally
know
go down the
anything,
rabbit hole then, 2 notes then. One on, you know, Heather betting her ass on the line for Disney. If Disney does drop at D23 in August, that they're going to open a new park here. And it makes sense for a lot of reasons, especially with the, you know, just the, I guess, the logical reason why they're building up more and more hotels to fit these guests in, because they're going to have more room. Because they are at, like, capacity all the time now. It's just like, not that they care. I mean, they'll just cram them in. But, I mean, they do care. They try to care. It's all about the dollar. But, I mean, you know, they try to make it at least, you know, fun and appealing to people. So if you're cramming in more and more people. So the thought of them having another park makes sense, especially if the competition is doing it too. Now, the one drawback to that, like Heather said, she's like, why do the hotels without at least starting the construction of the park too, you know? Now, granted, you've got like the Star Wars Land, Galaxy's Edge that's about to open up down here.
I think, that's easy. That's easy because the way that they have that land set up, they've got that huge inner circle, if you will, and all the parks are attached to it except Magic Kingdom, which you got to fucking ride a train for. But anyway, I'm not going to get back on that tangent. I fucking hate that. But so they got that whole inner circle, so anybody can stay at any hotel, at any themed hotel, and go to any park. So you can build them up now. People can use them,
and then add the park.
Go into the park, and then you can add the park later. And it doesn't change your flow of people.
Yeah, I told you there's a whole section of ground is going to open up, and an entire park's going to pop up.
Yeah, basically.
Like inside out. You know?
The amount of land that they own is massive.
What would you make it? Think about it. All right, you got Animal Kingdom, so it's basically their zoo, right?
Yeah.
It's got like Pandora. You've got Magic Kingdom, which is like the classic one. You've got Epcot, which is future, and that needs an update, but it's future. And then you've got Hollywood Studios, which revolves around movies. What do you do with the 5th park? Now you'll have Galaxy's Edge, which is Star Wars, right? But that's essentially part of...
Well, I'm not sure what you're getting at. I mean, if you were to
what
just...
theme
if you were to just ask me that without any context and me knowing nothing, I would say, oh, shit, they own all this Marvel stuff now. That's what they got to do. They can't, though.
No.
Because they have the deal with Universal, and they cannot make a Marvel theme park.
Yet.
Well, yeah. So they own a little bit of rights to a few things now because they bought Fox.
Yep.
So I think the Hulk movie was part of that deal, and the whole...
That's Universal.
Oh, that's Universal? Yep. There was what was in the Fox rights then? Do you know?
Simpsons.
No, I meant comic-wise. There was a couple comic things Fox owned. Oh, Fantastic Four. Yeah. Okay. X-Men. All right, so potentially maybe that would be the right answer were there not all this other stuff going on in the middle. But yeah.
But here's my deal for that. All right, and again, this is pure speculation. You know damn well at some point Disney wants all that shit back under its umbrella, right?
Sure.
Each of these acquisitions they've been making, or these deals they've been making, have been they've been progressively bigger. First it was Marvel, then it was $4 billion for Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
Then it was $72 billion for Fox.
Yep.
They're gonna drop a megaton of fucking cash on Universal. Let's say, shut your superhero shit down.
Oh, I don't know about that.
You watch. They're going to do it. You watch. Because here's the thing. I think the Universal Land, the rumor has been steady, and that was in the thing I sent you, is going to be Nintendo World.
Yeah,
so they're going video game based.
So, well, that could just be one themed area. So Universal owns rights to a lot of shit. And the rumors that have passed around for, I think, months before any of this, when they started building, was about the different sort of universes that Universal had access to. I think that was actually one of the theoretical names for the park, Epic Universe or something.
Dark Universe. No, Dark Universe was the movie universe they were going to try to do.
No. I think it's called Epic Universes or something along those lines. Or Fantastic Worlds, I think, was
Fantastic
another
Worlds
one.
was one of them. Yeah, that was on the link.
So, all right. So I guess we spoilered something. So there was something that we both seen. It was in this article, but that's not the only place you can find it. Was the Super Nintendo world, and it looks more or less like you're living in Mario 2 or 3.
Yeah. And I think that's supposed to just be one part of it.
Yeah, and I think that's just one themed area of the park.
You'll have Zelda, you'll have whatever else.
So this was the Super Mario World. If you look at the artist renditions or whatever, there's like crazy big hills with sort of that tiered look you have in Super Mario 3. And there's like mushrooms, mushroom houses and stuff. And there's a Bowser Castle that looks just like something you'd find in the original Mario Brothers. Yeah, it's epic. The artist rendition has all this cool stuff that looks like it's out of all these different... But, I mean, that's just one area. And I think the way that they have supposedly, again, we're going to talk about might not be right, leaked plans, but it looks like they're going to have maybe 4 or 5, even 6 different themed areas around the central core of that world. Park.
So Mario would probably be the hub.
Yeah, So who knows what else they could do? They could do a lot.
They can. But I'm saying, and I'm not saying it's like in the next year or two. I'm saying like within the next 5 to 10 years, you'll see Disney make their move to get all the people back because it just makes sense. And it's what they do. Yeah. I say it's going to be sooner than later just because, well, it's Disney.
Well, you know, I'm sure they didn't go into the acquisition without having a long-term plan for getting back those rights.
Yep. Yeah, just like we've been saying about the MCU, that you know damn well they've been planting seeds for a whole bunch of the shit that they kind of talked about already. It's coming. Yeah. So I'm excited to see Thursday, and obviously we will drop it on the website, whatever the announcement is.
Whenever, yeah. So I don't know if I can get down there Thursday, but I might try.
Oh, that'd be cool. You heard it here first. Live feed.
This is me failing to deliver. You heard it here first.
That's okay. You know, usually our wives hear that a lot more. So I think that might be about it for the episode. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's probably it.
Yeah, I think we killed it. Hey, look, we hit an hour. That was cool.
Yeah, one of our listeners is on the website right now, and they just dropped me a note that I said Samantha Tate instead of Sharon Tate.
Nice. All right. We suck. We'll fix it.
I'll correct that right now.
All right. So whoever you are,
that was my mom.
Oh, never mind. Hi, Mom.
Thanks, Ma. I'll fix that right now.
Way to call them out. Mm-hmm. So, all right. So we will definitely start with some phone calls or whatever coming a couple of weeks. We got a couple of weeks to sit down and plan some stuff, so it'd be cool. We will. I guess we'll chat at you guys soon. I guess hit us up now at whatifgeeks.com. whatifgeeks@gmail.com. Twitter, Instagram, all that happy bullshit. Let us know what you think of the site and what else you want to hear. All right? Let us know what you think of this episode. Good night, Tony.
Good night, Ma.